I'm grounded in compassion, centered in compassion, 'cause the most important person is me.
Well, hello, beautiful people. Have you ever noticed how fast we try to explain ourselves? You know, justify what we meant, or defend our hearts, or argue our position? There's a name for that. It's called JADE. And most of us know it. I teach, a compassion class in a couple of formats, and one of my students brought this word up, and I thought, I would share it today because most of us are doing it from a triggered nervous system, not a compassionate one. So, welcome today to Real Life, Real Compassion. I'm Dr. Belinda Douglas, a senior CBCT instructor and founder of Compassion Center of Georgia, where we bridge neuroscience and compassion to help us live from the inside out. Today, we're talking about something that shows up in real conversations, in real conflict, and real relationships. JADE. The concept was widely adopted in communities focused on healthy boundaries and emotional manipulation. JADE stands for J, which is to justify, A, to argue, D, to defend, or E, to explain. And here's what's fascinating. Most of the time, when we jade, we're actually not communicating. We're protecting ourselves. So let's slow that down for a moment and visit it. Because when someone challenges us or questions us or misunderstands us or criticizes us, our nervous system reads it as a threat. No, not a physical threat, but a relational threat. And when the nervous system feels unsafe like that, the sabotagers show up. You know, the judge that says, you're wrong, or the controller that says, let's fix it, or the hyperachiever that says, prove yourself, maybe the pleaser that says, make them understand you. And then, in the midst of all of it, suddenly we're in jade mode, justifying that that's not what I meant, or arguing, no, that's not how it happened. Maybe defending, I only did that because, or explaining, let me tell you the full story. So, if we think about it, there's nothing inherently wrong with explaining. There's certainly nothing wrong with clarifying. I'm not saying that. But the energy behind it, it tells the truth. Are we explaining from calm clarity or from dysregulation? Are we responding or are we reacting? Because when we are grounded in compassion, we don't need to prove our worth in the moment. Think about it. We don't need to win the interaction. We don't need to rescue our image. We don't need to jade. Compassion says it differently. I'm safe, even if you misunderstand me. I don't have to convince you. I can let this breathe. Or perhaps I can respond when I'm better regulated. And see, here's the deeper level. If I know who I am, I don't have to defend who I am. If I'm clear internally, I don't have to argue externally. JADEing is often a sign that something inside me feels unstable. So instead of jading, or judging ourselves for it, what we can do instead is, get curious. What was, how was I threatened? My competence, my goodness, my belonging, or my authority? Compassion invites inquiry, not shame, because when we truly feel secure, we could say it this way. Okay, that's your perspective. Or perhaps, thanks for sharing that. Or I'll think about it. Or maybe even just, silence. But silence is very hard for sabotagers. That's just not going to happen. But it's very natural for a regulated nervous system. So here's the shift. Try this. The moment you feel the urge to jade, pause. Because that pause is power. That pause is self-leadership. That pause is compassion restoring our choices. Just pause. So let's practice this. Think of a recent moment where you felt the need to justify or defend yourself. Notice what happens in your body as you remember it. Now, gently inhale through the nose and slowly exhale. Place one hand over your heart or your abdomen and silently say, I'm safe. I don't have to prove myself in this moment. Now breathe again. Feel the difference between reacting and choosing. Let your body feel that in the moment. And here's a practice that you can actually take into next week. Before you jade, ask, am I explaining for clarity or am I defending for safety? Compassion, I'm not saying to silence your voice. It actually stabilizes your voice. When you're grounded, you can speak without force. And when you're centered, you can listen without collapsing or walking away. When you're regulated, you can disagree without it feeling like a threat. Jade, think about it this way, is not the enemy, it's a signal. A signal that something inside needs reassurance. And the most important person to reassure first is you. Do that this week. From all of us at Compassion Center, may your heart stay open. May your spirit stay at peace. And may you live each day as a vessel of love, fully alive, fully free, engaged in real life with real compassion. We'll see you next week.
I'm grounded in compassion, centered in compassion, 'cause the most important person is me.